There's basically 4 bits of data that have to be added to all payments to make them ISO 20022 compliant. Legal entity identifier, purpose of payment code, structured address, structured remittance. And of those, most organisations have two already. They have an address and they typically have a remittance information, but it's unstructured and not structured. The issue is in LEI and POP, which at the moment, most organisations don't store. They simply don't have that data. So really the biggest technical and operational challenges that we're seeing are, it's for organisations to firstly get the LEI data for the people they're paying, and to define what the purpose of payment codes are and to store those. So that may well involve having a new system of record, because we're seeing that a lot of ERP systems or back office systems simply can't store this data. And then the other thing is around structured address. We're seeing challenges with, particularly operationally, in terms of getting addresses into that structured format. And then structured remittances is actually probably the hardest of all of them, because it's actually quite technically difficult to go from a very unstructured kind of remittance format to the format that's required under ISO 20022. So there's challenges in all those areas, and those are the things that organisations should focus on, either as projects they're doing themselves, or whether they're working with a partner or a third party. So I would say that most financial institutions are just coming to the end of the first phase of their transition programs, and they're all planning for kind of multi-phase implementations over the next 2 years. So what we will see is a gradual improvement of their systems to cope with structured address, structured remittance, multiple purpose of payment codes, etc. As an organisation that is then going to be sort of integrating or connecting to your bank, you need to be ready for the fact that what your bank can consume is going to change over the next 3 years, and therefore the data that you send them is going to change over the next 3 years, and the data you receive is going to change. There's a contingency. You really need to be able to deal with those changes, or you need a partner that can deal with those changes. But that, I think, is the most important thing that people should be focusing on.